It's Team Game O'Clock. Let's watch some Age of Mythology Retold team games, or at least this one, which is going to be a 2v2 at a crazy high level, to be honest, for a ladder game. I normally do a bit of a search on AOM stats for anything above 1850. It's normally all 1v1s, but this was a team game that popped up, and I was like, why not? Let's watch the best of the best, do some team games. And if you're only really familiar with 1v1s, then some of these names you probably won't even recognize, even if you've been watching my channel, or Boyd's channel, or Soup's channel, whatever. So this is going to be I Am Apple. He is probably the best team game player there is. It's actually ridiculous how good this guy is. He normally sits in the top 5 for team games, but just doesn't play 1v1s basically at all. So he's from the DoD clan. And yeah, it's just ridiculous how strong this guy is. He's going to be playing Set, and his partner is going to be Grand Monster. Now, I haven't heard this name for a long time, but he did play a lot of Voobly, so that was the way that we played Age of Mythology before Retold came out. And just checking his profile, he's played team games pretty much on and off the whole time, but barely plays 1v1s at all, basically. Not even in the last... I think he's played like 3 games in the last week, and apart from that, it was a year ago. So he loves his team games. Unfortunately, he's going to get stitched up by this Auroch. Sometimes that be happening. This happens to you, bring your labor out, make sure it gets hit a couple of times, bring the Auroch in, and normally it works. It's still not 100%, but hey-ho. Grand Monster going to be playing in this one, and their opponents are going to be easy. I mean, I would say EZ for this, but I'm sure it's meant to be easy, and I believe this is a Sem, but we call him easy for this one, as he's going to be dropping a sample down as the Poseidon. Didn't really say this. This is an Egyptian team, Set and Ra, up against the Poseidon Kronos. The Poseidon Kronos is a ridiculously aggressive composition right here. The mana is down for Ragnarok's. Ragnarok's going to be playing the Kronos. He's a strong 1v1 player as well. So is Asem, but I think they do both prefer team games. When I've done team game streams in the past, these two guys are very quick to jump in, want to play, and especially Ragnarok's. I just get wrecked when I play up against this guy. He's always cooking up something. It's very unlikely that Ragnarok's goes for a boom. Not that he can't do it, but his kind of aggro playstyle is where he finds a lot of wins, and makes sense. Playing the Kronos, you kind of want to go for that anyway. Prometheus is going to be coming through for a 349, 350 advance time, whatever the number is. Going to be going through that one. Probably the first up, unless there's going to be a Hermes. There is going to be Hermes for Asem on this side, so that both of them want to go for a kind of early advance time, trying to get some pressure on, whereas I'm sure Grand Monster over here is not going to be advancing yet, which he isn't. Does he have the resources to do it? No, he doesn't. He's going to be chilling for a little bit, but Apple is going to be going through Anubis, so he will have an Anubite to defend and get some priests out if he wants to. Looks like he's grabbing 8 on the gold. I don't know what this really means, to be honest, because normally you want a few more if you're going for a town center. I mean, you could just go a slightly delayed version and go for a town center a bit later, but normally you want about 10 on there if you're grabbing a fast second town center. And there we go. He is moving his villagers off, so no, he is doing something a little bit different. You also do want to grab some gold income if you want to drop some barracks early on. If you're going for like double barracks or something, then it makes sense. We're just looking at his resources. Yeah, he's got 300 gold, and also min-maxing with the Pharaoh, so don't hate that play at all. I actually like that play. I'll tell you what. We've got Ragnarok's. What's he going to be doing? He is in the next stage. I accidentally pressed zoom forward, which I did not mean to do, so apologies for that one. I don't remember my hotkey to press play normally, but Ragnarok's is finding relic here. Myth units are more resistant to Pierce attacks, so that's going to be nice for him. He is going to be building some Prometheans out as well, so we're going to be seeing that relic come into play nice and early. So it's 25% Pierce armor. What does it go up to? Does it go up to anything decent? 36! Wow. 11% increase. He's already got the 2 that he started with. He didn't transform his temple forward. He's kept it back in the base, and he is just going full Prometheans. How many oracles does he actually have? Do we see a normal oracle around? There's a hero one. We see here, so he's got 6 oracles. 6 normal oracles and 1 hero oracle. This is absolutely ridiculous. This is something that you can do in 1v1s as well, but the map is just not as big. In this sort of game, you can bring one of your oracles over here. Unfortunately, Theseus is getting all sorts of confused. Should be able to drop it off. But you can put oracles next to your friendly town center. So basically, you can do 3 always around your main base very, very easily. And you can do the same in your opponent's base. And that's just 6 very easy to defend oracles. Anubites are jumping forward, going to be jumping straight on that citizen. Citizen should be able to run away. It does have a Valor as well, so not a big deal. Valor does heal up the boy back to full HP, and it gives him a bit of bonus damage against those Anubites. Unupgraded Anubites as well, so not that scary. Atalanta, of course, running around. Centaurs and some Hippias, so no town centers in this game can be happening. The map is Tundra, so Tundra is kind of wide open. You do get double hunt in your main base, but that is it. Apart from that, it's open season. And we haven't really looked at the Egyptian guys. What are they doing? So they're dropping double barracks after some Sphinx, so some Haruko Sphinx coming out for Grand Monster. Wants to put some pressure on right there. The Anubites again trying to just get some damage done. Forcing the Valor out is nice because it means that you can go after the villagers that aren't Valid, because Valor has a bit like a 30-second cooldown, so you have to watch out for that one. This Nubite does need to jump away though. If Apple is paying attention elsewhere, it looks like, wow, he should get a villager kill here though. No, should be able to teleport inside the manor is the citizen, and would have been worth it if he got the citizen kill, because it is essentially 2 villager kills, but unfortunately loses the Nubite for free, which is definitely not what Apple wants. I think he was paying attention back here. Yeah, he needed to defend his own base. This is the crazy thing about the 2v2s, is when you get aggressed on, it can be a little bit tricky to deal with. Ragnarok's with the Prometheans. He's got 7 Prometheans coming over here. Probably going to help out on this side. Or he's just chilling for the time being. And just goes back. There's lots of aggression on this side, trying to come through from easy, but the spearmen going to be running away. There is also increases hero hit points here, which could be nice for any of these plays, to be honest. Could be nice for probably the Poseidon most of all. Get some Atalanta HP online, because she has a decent amount of HP, so any bonus kind of percentage. Oh my, did he just delete all the Prometheans? 27 Promethean offspring. God, they look so funny. Look at them go. These guys, they also have 45% pierce armor, because that scales of Catapulopus does apply to them. So these could be some ridiculous raiders. I'd like to see them in box formation so they can just get even tighter in. Going to be a raid coming in from Apple, but I believe this should be easy to defend for easy on this side. Nubites are running forward, trying to get something done, but there was a Theseus. There was also some Sphinx doing some damage somewhere. Also aggression up on this side. Atalanta going to be just surrounded by the blue spearmen. And she's taken this trade, I guess, because the Mamilo are coming over. Mamilo are going to be a great counter, soft counter to those spearmen, because the spearmen don't really, basically they benefit from their speed. They're not really ones to just take a fight unless it's against a cavalry unit, like over here. But then the centaurs counter them pretty nicely. An aggressive serpents, but I want to see what these guys are doing. How big is this raid going to be with these Promethean offsprings? They do a lot of damage, surprisingly. I mean, when there's 27 of them, I guess 27 of anything do big damage. The Pharaoh is going to get called over very quickly. Nice reaction from Apple, because these guys should go down very quickly. They have 96 HP, and the Pharaoh does divine damage when he's on myth units, so you have to watch out for that. But he did get 2 villager picks just basically instantly. Absolutely wild to even go for this. How many oracles does he have? He still has 7. Crazy times. Grand Monster going to be coming over here. Coming up to this top side. Trying to find something. There are some villagers here. Only 1 mana as well. And there are some more citizens coming over as well. This could be a pretty nice raid coming up from these Sphinx plus Spearman combo. Need to do some dancing around if you're Ragnarok. He's also going for a raid at the same time. That means he's not paying attention on this top side. Sphinx are going to be taking down everything. Can he get a counter raid with the offspring here? But no, the Sphinx with the huge damage on this. Basically just spawned, does all that damage. Wild. Should be able to take out the Sphinx as a counter though. But if the Sphinx has his special back up, nice play to get him before the special goes back up. Otherwise they'd all die. And that would not be ideal at all. These guys are now heavy in the heroic cage. It's going to use a chaos somewhere. Chaos used back here on these yellow units, so the Mamilo can come back over. And a ceasefire used. Kind of counters his own chaos, though. Why are they still... I guess those guys just forgot there was a ceasefire going on. They're just attacking each other anyway. Whatever. But there was a lot of spearmen in the main base. And this many spearmen are just very, very hard to deal with. I don't know what the hell is going on here. I think this guy wants a scrap, but I think it's just an animation thing for the spectator. I don't think that actually happened. There was no damage going on. Anyway, big damage could come through here. Not very many centaurs. There are 3 centaurs. Actually, now this one's just spawned, so the spearmen are going to be in a bit of trouble. They don't have the tar upgrades because he went Anubis, so it doesn't have the extra pierce armor, which is pretty valuable against the Poseidon here. On this side are going to be the Promethean offspring still looking around, while the Mamillo on this side scaring away the spearmen. So full spearmen from our Egyptian team, just basically just raiding comps, but we are hovering over what Ragnarok's is doing, and he is transitioning into Satyrs, and Satyrs melt my spearman boys here. How do these guys trade even? Not good against the Sphinx special. We said it earlier. These guys are so small, they stack up very nicely, and maybe the offspring just didn't get as much damage as he was hoping. That was, if he got the upgrade, and there was, what, 20 something of these guys, he probably had 8 or so Prometheans that he killed off, but he's going to be able to get some Satyrs out. It's got so much favor, I don't think it really matters. Prometheans are ridiculously cheap, so just causing the Egyptian boys to have a bit of trouble is more than enough. Nice turn and burn on the Hierarcho Sphinx. Ground Monster responds pretty quickly, though, gets out of dodge, and we'll have a Pharaoh or Priest to heal up those guys, if he wants to. Centaurs on this side, still. I think one of these guys needs to get to the next stage. It's clear that Ragnaroks and Easy are going for the Centaurs, they're going for the Satyrs, they're going for the Prometheans. It's Myth Units o'clock. Nice little raid coming through. There is some poison damage. 1 HP. The poison does run out. Oh no, it literally just goes down. Nice little raid, but how many spearmen do you lose for it? But what I was saying is that they're going pure Myth Units, and Classical Age Priests just don't cut it, especially in team games. They are so slow. If we see, Apple does have 5 Priests, but they're sat back here. Move over this side. We have 2 Priests, 3.6 speed, slowing down this army so much. 5 speed spearmen on this side, 5.3 speed spearmen for the set. They're great defenders, but they're just so slow in the classical age. They don't have much range, they don't have much damage. You need to get to the heroic age for them to really be useful at all. If you could go, you could definitely go Hathor. That makes sense if you are the Ra player going. I see Hathor here. It is Sobek, but seeing the Hathor picture, Sobek as well, getting those Petzebek in as a counter to some of those range myth units, as it is just one of the strongest range myth units there really is. And then on this side, if you're the set player, go Nephthys. Exactly. Go Nephthys, get your upgrades for your priests to make them heal better, to make them deal more damage versus myth units. It's exactly what he wants. Sobek is going to be in for Ground Monster, and now has access to his Locust Swarm, so could do something with that one. Now the priests are in against the Centaurs, and that is easy. He's just going to run away. But the great thing about this for the Poseidon is he just doesn't have to fight. He can run rings around these priests so easily. He just needs to fight somewhere else. But Apple has countered it pretty nicely with the walls that he's building. Unfortunately, built a wall here, which means the Centaur can probably get a special over the fence, as it were. But the settlement's pretty close that it would deal some decent damage to the Centaur anyway. What's it looking like down here? This could be a brutal raid. I don't think Ground Monster and Co are going to see this at all. We'll see what his reaction time's like. Does see the red come through, and he notices it instantly. That's pretty good awareness, but I don't think it's even going to matter. Wow, losing so many units. There are going to be some Sphinx, though. Could he get a big trade off after this? 5.8 speed. Could use the Eclipse to run after this one. There might be a ceasefire on the other side, but he does have to spend that favor. Not going to go for it. Maybe he doesn't even get fast enough. The Spearmen definitely aren't getting fast enough, and he's just going to lose some villagers. Nice little raid coming through. Hippie is trying to get another raid off. Playing against Kronos, you always need 2 Migdal Strongholds, unless you're Isis. So, need to be dropping that one down, but there isn't really enough units to deal too much damage. There's going to be a bit of a chaos on the backside, but against so many units with nothing else around, not really going to do too much. Using a chaos for 60 favor to save 5 Hippias doesn't really make sense, but sometimes you know, you're just feeling yourself, and you're going to be using that god power. Basically, the more units you use a chaos on, it lasts for less seconds So using it on all those spearmen doesn't really make sense. But there is going to be lots and lots of centaur coming through. The villagers will be able to get away nicely, though. And there is Petsuchos underneath here. Unfortunately, there's no heroes for red. Why not? Why not just leave him here? Normally when he's on the front line like this, the crocodile goes down instantly, but there's no Atalantis, no Theseus, no nothing. And Osiris already coming through on the yellow side. Is there anyone else going Mythic Age? No, there is a Heroic Age coming through for our player in red, though. He's going to be going Dionysus. That's going to pop right now. Those centaurs. How much damage are these centaurs doing? 14 kills between them. 14k or 1400 damage as well. Apple is trying to chase these guys down, but just doesn't have the speed to deal with Poseidon. Does go up 0.1 speed. Now he's in the next stage as well. 7 on this side. Little cheeky raid from Ragnarok. He's been a bit quiet after the big plays early, or at least the big attempted plays with those Promethean offspring. Now he's grabbed himself a town center. Looks like Easy's grabbed himself a town center as well. Apple, we saw grab a town center earlier, so it's only Ground Monster that hasn't grabbed one, but I imagine that's what he's going for here. But he actually has gone Osiris, so that's where he spent his resources, banking on the Son of Osiris to do some good work. I mean, that's the perfect counter to any Myth units situation, really, is Son of Osiris coming in, dealing big chain damage to all these satyrs. The satyrs just biding their time to deal with these spearmen. I like the idea to get the priest to heal up all these guys, because any low HP spearmen are just going to go down just way too quickly, if we're all honest. Osiris has popped, though. It's going to be another town center up for Easy on this side. Ragnarok's score is absolutely ridiculous. Is that just because of the favor? He's got 160 favor. That is why his score's ridiculous. Mictor Stronghold trying to come up in the middle, but there's probably going to be a deconstruct here in 20 seconds. So I don't know whether that's going to really survive. Satyr's not in the best position to get that special off. They went a little bit early. If you can kind of sit in the right spot, and you can kill all the villagers off with 4 Satyrs pretty easily. The Argus are coming in, though, and the Son of Osiris needs to get over here. I don't know where he is. He's going to be on the yellow side, so we can get a bit of a hotkey going on here. I don't know. He's somewhere. There he is. Oh, I used the wrong button. Definitely don't want to be him. Here he is. There's going to be a deconstruct coming through. Definitely makes sense. Implode coming in as well on all those low HP spearmen. And everything should be going down on this side. Absolutely huge implode coming through from Ragnarok. So that's what he was doing. He was booming up, getting to that next stage, and hitting some pretty insane power spike here with all his satyrs as well. But the swarm of yellow on Easy's side is going to be able to run away with a decent chunk of villagers. But town center down, fortress going to be going down more than likely. Easy needs to get his fortress down on the Son of Osiris, and it looks like there's a Team 2 victory. I don't know what went on there. The spectator be bugging a little bit, but Ragnaroks and Easy just played that one so nicely. I really like the play with the Promethean offsprings earlier. I just think these guys just wised up to it so quick and didn't really leave that many villagers out. But that raid over here was absolutely massive.